All right, so gonna be working on installing a new head unit. Some slimy POS took advantage of the situation when I was doing my LS swap and stole my head unit. So I'm gonna have to install a new one. Decided to go with a Pioneer AVH-2550 head unit. It has packed full of a lot of features, a lot more than what I was looking for a decent price. It's a double DIN head unit. Got it upside down. Let's fix that. Double DIN head unit. Another feature that it has is satellite radio, HD radio, plays DVDs, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's packed full of features, and it was less than $500 for everything that it offers. Took my dash bezel off, took my HVAC controls out as well. I've had bad luck. Now let me stop. Let me back up. Before you get started working on anything electronic, like your stereo or anything like that, be sure to disconnect the battery first. I have burned up many HVAC controls by working with the battery hooked up. As you can see, the wires will touch the controls. Let me grab it here for you. We touch the controls, touch the control board, and short it out. Now I wised up and covered it up with some tape so that I don't have that problem again. So let's proceed on with the installation. The head unit that I had before was a Clarion head unit. Like the piece of, gotta keep it PG. Like the POS that stole my head unit, like all he did was just cut the wires. He didn't take the wiring harness. So it looked like I can reuse what is here, save myself some time. Let's see. Like the wiring harness is about the same. Yellow, red, blue, orange. This orange does not have a stripe on it. I don't think that matters. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, I'm gonna move forward with this setup that's already in here and see how it pans out, see if it works out for me. All right, so I got my wiring harness tightened up here. Got my wires soldered and wrapped with the electrical tape. I was wanting to use some heat shrink, but I didn't have enough left, but wrapping in an electrical tape will work just fine. I did wrap up my other cables that I'm not going to use, my speaker wires from the head unit wiring harness, and also the speaker wires from the factory harness. So I wrapped them up with the electrical tape so they're not just jumbled all up, just to clean things up behind the head unit. So I'm waiting on my soldering iron to heat up, because I got one more wire that I have to solder together. It's the wire for the that connects to the parking brake, so you can watch video on the head unit. What I'm doing right now is test fitting everything to see the head unit has many different mounting options. So I just want to make sure that it's going to fit correctly and not look monkey. Try not to put any unnecessary marks on it. about this side? Yeah. Gee whiz. Wires. I got it set up in there. Look like it's gonna be okay. Not gonna be 100% sure until I get the bezel back on. So, okay. So I put the head unit in place, and I noticed that I'm gonna have to do some trimming. Just a little bit. I'm gonna have to trim out this area right here. Let me make sure there's nothing. Trim this out a little bit. Or probably cut this out right here so I can get my RCA wires connected to the back of the head unit, because the head unit fills up this whole cavity right here. It fills up this whole cavity right here, and there's no way to get the RCA wires connected to the back of the head unit with this in place. I think I'm gonna trim this out right here, get my body saw and trim that out. Let's see if you can get a better view. Yeah, I'm gonna trim this out right here so I can get my RCAs in. Also, I'm going to have to do some trimming to the bezel as well. So, all right, so I got the little area cut out so my wires don't get caught up. I can run my RCA wires through that little pocket and connect them to the head unit. See? So you see that, like I said, the head unit comes all the way back into this cavity here. And I don't want my wires pinched or anything like that. So, got that hooked up. Now we're going to feed the head unit in and see how it looks. All right, got to do a little surgery to the bezel. Got to cut out a little spot right in here, right in here, and I got to do a little trimming up in here as well. Let me show you. They sent another little bezel for the head unit. The head unit is a little bit larger than the opening that came with the factory, or came on the factory bezel. So I'm gonna trim it out. You see, I got it marked right here and right there. And I don't know if you can see it, but up in here I got to trim as well, because this portion right here covers the opening to put CDs in on the head unit. So I got to trim this out as well. So not a big deal. Like I said, custom work. Gotta have a little imagination, a little patience. It will all pay off in the end. That looks like it came out pretty good. Pretty good. The key is go slow. Have a little patience. Take your time. Take your time. Test fit. Make sure everything looks good. Trim as needed. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome. Now I'm about to go test fit it around the head unit, see what it looks like. All right, so finally got the head unit installed. Came out pretty clean, if I don't say so myself. I really like the way it came out. Like I said earlier in the video, when you're working on something custom, you got to have a little patience. You're got to have some patience. Not a little bit. You got to have some patience, because not everything goes as planned, and sometimes it requires some imagination to get it done. But overall, not a bad install. The only thing is, we won't be able to hear it today because I don't have the amps installed. That's gonna have to come in part 2. Yeah, I know. I'm a little disappointed myself. I was looking forward to hearing how it sound, but installing the amps would require me building a amp rack, and I got to figure out how I want to position the subs. They have to go back here in this area as well. So stay tuned for part 2.